When you're working with the multiplication of negative numbers or negative and positive numbers, the main rule to remember is the multiplication of equal signs will give you positive results, and the multiplication of different signs will give you a negative results. Let's make a few examples with this positive and negative number multiplication to see exactly how this works. These are the general rules in the multiplication of positive and negative numbers. In case number 1, we have positive multiplied by positive, and that gives you a result of a positive number. In case number 2, we have a negative number multiplied by another negative number, or a negative variable multiplied by another negative variable. Both of them are negative, therefore the result is going to be a positive number or variable. Now, if the signs are different, as we see in the case number 3, the multiplication of numbers or variables with different signs will always give you a negative result. Just simply remember, equal signs, positive results; different signs, negative results or negative numbers. Now, one particular case of the multiplication of negative numbers is the multiplication of negative 1. If you remember, anything multiplied by positive 1 does not change. For example, x times 1 equals x, or 5 times 1 is 5. But if you multiply by negative 1, you're gonna be changing the sign of the number or the variable. For example, positive x multiplied by negative 1 equals negative x. So I had a positive x, it now becomes a negative. If I multiply negative x by negative 1, that negative x becomes a positive. Remember, equal signs, both are negative, becomes positive. Here we had different signs. The multiplication of a negative times a positive equals a negative. Always multiplying by negative 1 is going to change the sign of the number or the variable. If it's positive, it's going to become negative, and if it's negative, it is going to become positive. Now, what about if we have more than 2 numbers? Well, the same rules apply here. It just depends on which ones you want to multiply first. Here we have x times y times c. So the result is going to be the same no matter what order of multiplication I choose. That is a property of multiplication. Now, let's start on this side. Here I have chosen to multiply first negative 2 times 3 and later multiply the 4. On this side, I'm going to multiply first 3 times 4 and later multiply that by negative 2. If I first multiply negative 2 times 3, different signs gives me a negative result. So the result is going to be negative 6. And negative 6 times 4, again, different signs. One is positive, the other is negative. I get a result of negative 24. On the other side, if I choose to start with 3 times 4, equal signs, positive and positive, gives me a positive result of positive 12. Now I have positive 12 multiplied by negative 2, so different signs, one positive and one negative, gives me the result of negative 24 also. You can break it down and follow the same rules of equal signs giving you positive results, negative sign giving you negative results, and if you keep track of the step that you're taking, you're gonna get the same result and it's always gonna be correct. Here we have the same example, but now we change one of the numbers. Now we have negative 4 where we have positive 4 before. So here I have positive 3 multiplied by negative 4. Different signs give me a negative result, which is negative 12. And now I multiply negative 12 by negative 2. equal signs, both are negative. Since both are negative, I get a positive result, which is now positive 24. So doing this, you can develop what the rules will be for multiplying three numbers or three variables. If all numbers are positive, you get a positive result. If all numbers are negative, you get a negative result. If you have two negatives and one positive, well, what happens? Two negatives, when multiplied, become a positive, and when that is multiplied by this other positive, it stays as a positive, so I get a positive result. If I have two positives and one negative, let's say these two together are a positive, but these two together, when we later multiply by a negative, becomes a negative. I wouldn't recommend you to memorize this. You can do it if you want, but again, if you keep track of the rules that two equal signs, both positive and both negative, always give you a positive result, and different signs always give you a negative result, you can solve any multiplication step by step, and you're gonna get a correct result if you are careful and keep track on how you are multiplying numbers with different signs, positives and negatives. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. If you found this useful, please subscribe, tell a friend, and don't forget to check some of my other videos and the playlist. Once again, thank you, and see you on the next video.